Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Namaste. Hopping in for our Vichara yoga this morning. So, wherever you are, let's make our way onto our mats and prepare to come into this yoga of inquiry. Welcome, everyone. Let's make our way back to our mats. So, coming to find your way into a seated position on your mat. And let all arrive there. Let all land there. So let's all find our way together here. Feel yourself coming into the space. And I really, really suggest to each and every one of you, wherever you're choosing to have your time of sadhana, so whatever space you're having it in, maybe today take a moment or two to clear that space, to create truly a space that's like an altar. You know, we really consider the sadhana space that we come to as a space that we're really coming home to ourselves. So it should truly feel like a space of invitation, where you feel welcomed into that self-settlement. So even if it's a small corner of the house, or if it's shared for other purposes, really allow it to be tidy and calm around the mat. And maybe even today, take a moment or two to really devote some time to curating the space for yourself. So welcoming you all to find your way into a seated position down onto your mat. And for today's sadhana, for this time of Vichara yoga, the yoga of inquiry, we're going to carry forth the inquiry from this morning's meditation. And it's truly this inquiry into the sense of being alive, this aliveness, this pulsation, what we might call the feeling of embodied consciousness. So the resting awareness, the recognition that we are always reverberating in and as life, as prakriti, as nature itself. And the gift of Vichara yoga, this yoga of inquiry, is that it's not directed from the outside. So I'm not telling you what to find or how to find it. There might be a guidance, but all that we come to on the mat is really a meditation and awareness in and through embodiment. If we're going to live our lives seemingly inhabited into this physical form, wouldn't it be wonderful that our yoga sadhana really brings us into an intimacy of recognizing how and why it is that we exist? Maybe settling into the unanswerable, settling into the mystery of just being alive, celebrating being alive. So in that way, in this morning's sadhana, I really invite each of you to simply explore, like an embodied meditation, this sense of aliveness. As I was mentioning earlier, not alive in one way or another, not looking to be alive in this way or in that way, but simply revering, adoring in many ways, life in its pulsation now. The simple profundity of that recognition. Feel it even now as we name it. Savoring this day, this moment, the preciousness of this very breath. At a time like this, globally, it's ever more necessary, and many of us probably feel it ever more pertinent for us to really, really come home to ourselves and to come home to the preciousness of this life. And however it manifests, just the preciousness of being alive. So that's our exploration, our sankalpa, our intention for this morning. Let's arrive together. Bring the palms flat, face down on the knees. Roll the shoulders back and feel the shoulder blades settling onto the back body. Settle here with the eyes closed and feel yourself seated. Take a couple full embodied inhales and exhales. Feel the reciprocity of the breath. Let the breath be full and pulsating. And if at any time throughout the sadhana you notice that there's been a drifting off, a headiness, a moving off into the seduction of thought, of mind, then come back to this sensation of being alive, come back to the sensation of breath now. Life arising and falling moment to moment. And with the next exhale, let the hands float into the heart center. Let them find their way down into Anjali Mudra. Settle there, soften. Let's come to chant the Shanti Pata, this beautiful prayer mantra that really asks, may the entirety of the space within and between us be one of harmony. May all the great teachings be received here. May there be no suffering. May all be pervaded by peace. So you can repeat after me. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahana Bhunaktu. Saha Viriyam Karavavahe. Tejasvinavaditamastu. Ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then staying here with the hands rested at the heart, we connect to our own sankalpa, our own sacred intention for being here, for coming to the altar of the mat this morning. Not what your sankalpa was yesterday, but that sacred, heartful intention that is here now, connecting to the aliveness now. And then as a collective, our sankalpa, really truly this intention to stay in the potency, the poignancy, moment to moment, this precious abiding with being alive, the sensation of aliveness, fullness, being breathed into, reverberating, danced through, of life. Not taking this body or this life for granted, but instead allowing the Vichara, the inquiry, to rest upon this sensation, this experience, this knowing of aliveness. Take one more full inhale here. With the exhale, let the hands settle back down onto the knees. From here, let's come into one or two pratyapana, one or two warming exercises before we make our way up to Surya Namaskar, to sun salutations. So let's start firstly in and through the spine and in and through the hips. Start to create small circles in a clockwise direction. Just gentle circles as you're seated here on the mat. Again, you might have done this thousands of times before, but come to it as though it's the first time. And then let the circles grow. Start to allow them to widen out. Feel that massage as the body starts to enjoy this movement, drawing back, moving forward. And notice how breath is invited naturally to pair with movement. Let any places in the body that are unnecessarily active tensed. Bring your awareness there and soften them out. The space of the jaw, the mouth, the space around the shoulders, the shoulder blades, down into the thighs. Notice if you can really melt and allow all to be done in this space of relaxation, of effortlessness. A couple more rotations in this direction, enjoying the full breadth, depth of the movement. And then slowly finding our way back towards center. Stop there. Rest for a moment of pause. And then come to switch the legs. So whichever leg is on the outside, bring it to the inside. Same position, and now we're going in the other direction. Notice even just doing that is remapping something, so you might feel awkward at the beginning. Small circles here firstly. Feel these small circles, especially in that band around the abdomen, the hips. Let the movement really get into this space of the lower back, the sacrum. Again, this beautiful offering from Mirabai, this ancient, wisdomful, mystic woman from India who offered the following. Get so quiet that you can feel the blood pulsing through the veins, that you can hear it. So in the same way, get so quiet that you can feel every millisecond, every micro movement, and start to grow the movement now. Let it grow wider. Notice how naturally you're invited to course and to pulse with life here. Find a full expression of the movement. Enjoy. A few more rotations. Notice if breath is restricted in any way. When breath is restricted, life, prana shakti, is also restricted. So let breath be deep and full. And allowing this to be the last rotation, finding your way back towards center and rest there. Soften into the center point. Feel that continuity of the dance of life. Continue to feel this pulsating movement. And then keeping the lower body as is, take the hands and clasp the fingers together at the back of the head. So relaxing the hands at the back of the head. Don't push the head forward. So continue to maintain this length through the spine, open through the shoulders. From here, we're going to twist. Take an inhale here. Twist and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And now continue this way. 2 more times. Coming back towards the center, inhaling here, take those clasped fingers and reach them up towards the sky, palms up towards the ceiling. Stretch, open, continue to breathe here. Opening up in through spine and through the fullness of the breath. Again, with pairing these movements, breath and awareness. Notice the intimacy with that currency of energy now. See if you can feel that vibrating aliveness. One more full inhalation here as you enjoy this upward stretch. And then with the exhale, slowly, gently let the hands come down to reside down at either sides of the body onto the mat. Stop there. And then from here, one last movement in through the side body. Exchange the legs. So again, whichever one is on the inside, take it to the outside. And then from here, this waving movement to open up through the side bodies, to really welcome prana. So as you notice, we're doing a lot of opening in through this space in the spine, which really welcomes the current of prana to be felt and to move. Plant your left hand, take an inhale. Draw the right arm up towards the sky, look up. Exhale, drop that right hand down and come to the other side. And now find your own dance with this. You might come right down to the forearm. But try to keep both sits bones down onto the floor as you do this. Full inhales, complete exhales. One more time on either side. And with the exhale, come back towards the center and again land. Feel the fingertips drawn down towards the earth and settle here. Feel that whole space, the torso, the space of the rib cage, the lungs, really expanded to life now. See if you can get quiet still enough that you can bring the awareness to the tip of the spine, right up to the top of the head, to feel into the subtlety of life pulsating there. Through the central channel, through Sushumna Nadi, the central channel, the flight pathway for prana. And as you take the next few breaths, with every inhalation, feel as though you're drawing up through that channel. And with the exhale, let it be exhaled through the top of the head, through Sahasrara Chakra. Inhaling, drawing up from the tip of the spine all the way up towards the top of the head. And with the exhale, feeling like you're exhaling out into all of life. The interconnection with all. And do this a couple more times. And then relax entirely and feel that invitation to deepened breath. Not just to breath, but to prana herself. You can feel almost as though every pore is breathing, welcoming life. And then ever so slowly maintaining this internal awareness. This is important throughout the practice, that we don't shift too much or get externalized too much, slowly flowing in between. Let's come up onto the knees into Vajrasana and make our way back towards the back of the mat. We will come into Surya Namaskar, this morning into Sun Salutations, but this lower version. However, if for anyone you want to come up to the front of your mat and come into the standing version of Surya Namaskar, feel free to do so. This is another version that really allows a settledness. It allows sort of a surrendered, graceful movement. And it's excellent for also welcoming a dynamic movement into the body, and yet at the same time staying low and grounded. And in many ways, it's very pacifying for Vata dosha. It keeps this sense of firmament, of stability, even in the opening and the activity. So residing here, take a full inhalation, and with the exhale, let the hands gracefully find their way to the heart center, arrive there. Let's take a few breaths here and feel this gesturing as we rest here. Let the head slightly bow, and notice how this is truly welcoming and embodied prayer. And that's actually how we can come to Surya Namaskar, to the Sun Salutations. It's not just a series of movements, and it's not just an acknowledgement of the seeming external planetary sun. It's truly a prayer and movement that acknowledges the gift of every day and acknowledges the gift of the light that lives within our very own heart. So you might even visualize here a small sun in the space of the heart. See it shining brightly. Stay connected to that throughout the movement. Taking a full inhalation here and exhale fully. With the inhale, let's rise and open, expand up through heart, through chest, slight back bend. With the exhale, pour forward in this prayerful movement. Drop down into child's pose, extend the arms forward. Inhaling, draw up, plant in through the hands, look up into cat. With the exhale, slide the hands slightly forward and draw back into downward dog. Holding the breath, drop the knees, drop the chest, drop the chin, coming down into Ashtanga Namaskar. With the inhale, slide through into Cobra, Bhujangasana, low here maybe for some of us. With the exhale, again, drawing back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, into downward dog. With the next inhale, drop the knees again, coming into a table, looking up, upward looking cat. Exhaling, sinking back into the heels, Balasana, the child's pose. Inhale, rise up through heart, open, expand, encircle this moment. And exhale, the hands fall back down into the center of the heart. Find beauty and grace in the movements. Notice how your movements are really an expression of how you come to life. Are they jolted? Are they just getting through the task? Or can you really be here in the appreciation of each movement? The celebration of being alive. Inhale, expand and open. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhaling, coming into upward looking cat. Exhale, downward dog. Holding the breath, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, chin, elbows at the sides of the body. Inhale, Cobra, relax the lower back, roll the shoulders down and back. Exhale, downward dog. Plant through all the fingers, draw the heels down towards the floor, enjoy. Inhaling, dropping the knees, look up, expand, full inhalation. Exhale, draw back, surrender, soften, release. And inhale, expand, open, heart is wide. Exhaling, hands melting back towards the heart. One breath in between. Inhale fully and exhale entirely. Inhale, and now if you feel to come all the way up onto the knees, expanding. Exhale, dropping down and through into child's pose. Inhale, looking up, open, let the inhalation be deep. Exhale, downward dog. The sits bones rise up towards the ceiling, long lines through the limbs. Hold the breath. Drop your knees, drop your chest, drop your chin. Pause here for a moment. Inhale, enjoy the scooping open through heart. Heart shines forward. Exhale, downward dog. Feel this gesture as a bowing. Inhale, this upward looking cat. Let the breath go all the way down to the pelvic floor. Exhale, soften, surrender, melt heart. And inhale, expand, open. Exhaling, seating down and back, hands coming back to the heart. So continue, one breath here, inhaling fully, exhaling entirely. Inhale, rise, open. Exhale, bow. Inhale, expanding. Exhaling, downward dog. Pausing, holding the breath, prostrating. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, draw back, bowing. Inhaling, Marjariyasana, cat. Exhale, Balasana, child's pose. Inhale, opening. And exhale, the hands come back down towards the heart. And stay there for a few breaths. Rest, reside. Get really quiet. Notice if the mind is trying to dialogue or create a conversation about what's occurring, rather than just being here in the revelation of life now. Notice if the mind is trying to label it or conceptualize, and instead really sink into those tiny filaments, the feeling of aliveness in the smallest ways, each cell dancing, pulsing. As Ramana Maharishi used to offer, this dance of life is felt as spurana, as the tremor, or in the Kashmiri Shaivist tradition, spanda. This infinite vibration of life that's felt here also in our individual or seeming individual form. Let's come into two more of these sequences in your own way, choosing how you feel to move. If you want to stand up, you can also do so. Inhaling here fully and exhaling completely. Inhale, rise, open, expand. Exhaling, bowing. Inhale, cat. Exhale, downward dog. Holding the breath, Ashtanga Namaskaram, 8 points. Inhale, enjoy this expansion through heart. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, opening, head reaches up. Exhale, falling back. Inhale, feel the arms encircling as arteries of heart space. And exhale, seated down. One breath, pulsating here. And inhale, expand. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, open. Exhale, bowing back. Hold the breath, pause, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, expand through heart center. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, open. Exhale, soften. Inhale, rise, last time. And exhale, sitting back and down, resting here. And just settle here for a few breaths. Notice for yourself what's here. In the silence, allow whatever is to be revealed or seen to be here, or simply resting into the sweetness of the silence. And then a couple last breaths here, and really concluding Surya Namaskar with a thankfulness. These salutations, really it's a pranam, a reverence to the day, to being alive, to having woken up yet again. May we wake up into our wakefulness. A thankfulness for the sun, for providing, for preserving, and a thankfulness for our own inner light, which in many ways is also the preserver, the sustainer, the one that guides the way. Feeling into the light within your own heart now. Then gently let the hands lower. And as we continue this morning, allow your awareness to stay pointed, to stay anchored in this sense of aliveness, that vibrating clarity, the pulsation of life. Let's shift the legs out to the side and swing them around into the front. And even as we come into these asanas, they may have various qualities, various chakras or physical activations. And yet at the same time, behind all of it is this field of spanda or spurana, this aliveness, this vibrating pulse of life. So we'll get intimate, inquire into that. The legs are directly extended out from the hips. Take the toes and point them up towards the sky, and bring your hands towards the sides of the hips, Dandasana. If you're not able to reach, like myself, down, you can always come up onto the fists or use a slight block here. And then from here, flexing the toes, keeping the entirety of the spine long. Roll the shoulders back. And feel almost like the top of the head is being tugged up towards the sky. Danda, the staff, sitting, rising into this alertness. You can feel that connection down towards the earth, Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. Stabilizing, nourishing, bringing safety and security. And so as we reside here, even in silence, in some of the asanas, we get quiet, we stay here for a little bit longer. Let the meditation be that availability. The availability to feel life now, not to float off into the patterns of the mind, but to stay here, rooted, grounded in what's here now. Take a moment to notice now, where are you seated? Are you off in thoughts, in the distracted tendencies of the mind and the old patterning? And if so, just come back to the sensation of the body, come back to the geometry, feel the way in which the body is in a specific positioning which wakes up our physicality, but also our energetics. Even psychosomatically, it has certain effects. Let yourself be inquisitive, curious here. Come back to the breath now. One more full breath here as you feel extension all along the spine. And then with the exhale, relax. Relax the hands, relax the toes if they've been flexed. And just release there for a moment or two. And then from here, making our way into Ardha Matsyendrasana, into the spinal twist. So take your left leg onto the floor and make it like a triangle. So as though it's a triangle, the knee pointing directly forward. From here, we're going to take the right foot and bring it over so the heel is in alignment with that left knee. And the right knee comes towards the center line. If you're noticing that one hip is lifting, then put a pillow under the opposite hip. So not under that hip accentuating the lift, but actually under the opposite one. So you create that slight movement back towards center line. If this isn't accessible for anyone, this bending of the leg, keep that leg extended. And then you can bring the other leg over top, like such. So from here, taking a full inhalation, and with the inhale, take the right arm, extend it all the way up and through towards the back, almost like it's a second spine. Plant the fingers or the hand down towards the mat so that that right shoulder stays open and through. Take the left arm and wrap it all the way around the leg. Or those of you who have availability to this, you can bring the outside of that left elbow and then come to clasp onto the right ankle. Let the chin follow back and through. Let it expand the side of the neck. And find your seatedness here. So really choose your posture so that you can have effortlessness. Let the jaw melt. Let that space of the left shoulder open. And feel the sole of the right foot really flat against the mat. This alignment of the physical posturing is only for the intention of allowing us to be in inner alignment with ourselves. So we really want to allow the posturing, the geometry, the asana, to have stillness and ease. Stiram sukham. So adjust in one way or another if it can help you to get more stable, more easeful. And then settle here and notice. In your availability, you might notice the specific gifts of this asana, why the rishis, why the great yogis offered this posture. Stay here and feel that dance of life, feel the dance of energy, and the dance of the moment as is. And in your quietude, you might be noticing the specific resonance of this asana in the area of the throat, Vishuddha chakra, connecting us to timelessness, spaciousness. One more full inhalation here in that opening. And then with the exhale, let the head come back first. So gently draw the head back towards the center line. And then slowly unravel the body. Come to sit up nice and tall. Comb the hands together. Roll the shoulders back and sit up. Feel the gift of that torsion all along the spine. Again, waking up Sushumna Nadi, that central channel of energy. And then let's come to flip side. See if you can move with almost not opening the eyes. Feel the gesture. Feel what it is to inhabit this body. So move towards the right knee now. That knee coming like an arrow directly forward. And bringing the left heel towards the right knee. Adjust in one way or another. But again, explore this here. Feel what it is to be in the body without using the eyes. Then from here, take an inhalation. Draw the left arm up and round it back like a second spine. Take the hand down towards the floor. Roll that left shoulder open. And then from here, draw the right arm around. Or for those of you who have that range of motion, take the outside of the right elbow and bring the hand down towards the left ankle. Keep that right shoulder open also and allow the chin to drift over towards the left shoulder. Release and let go of any unnecessary holding. In one place or another, if you're noticing there's a gripping, a tensing, a holding on to life, relax that tendency. And then stay here. Stay here in the vibrancy of life expressing now. And then again, take note, every asana is in fact a seatedness in ourselves. It's a meditation. It's welcoming us into the naturalness of being. So if you're off in mind, we're truly not in yoga. It's a good stretch, maybe, but the yoga occurs when the movement, the moment, is met with awareness. So come back to be here. Take one more full breath here. And then with the exhale, again, let the head come back first, ever so slowly. Keep the eyes closed. And then gently allow the rest of the body to follow in suit. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the legs in their position. Open through shoulders and continue to feel that ringing out along the spine. Feel that opening in through the throat area, this connection to the spatial element. Space, ether, vastness. And then slowly come to extend both legs out in front and just sit up nice and tall for a moment. Knees up towards the sky. Enjoy that movement. From here, let's come into a softened position on the back. So take the legs, moving the buttocks forward on your mat into butterfly, into Bhadrasana. So the soles of the feet are finding their way together here. And then from here, we're going to come to lie back. So Supta Baddha Konasana, this reclined butterflying position. If you want to use a pillow or a bolster under the back, you can do so. Otherwise, start to walk the hands back and just come up onto the backs of the buttocks. So rather than up onto the fronts of the sit bones, you're going to have a huge curvature in the lower back if you do this. Let that little shift happen so you're on the backs of the sit bones and the back of the buttocks, and then slowly find your way down towards the floor. If you want to use pillows or you want to use blocks under the thighs, you can do so if you're feeling any extra tension in through the hips or in through the thighs or the knees. And then from here, extend the arms all the way up over the head. So create a full body extension. So really lengthen the arms and feel that opening that happens in the shoulders when you welcome this length. And then consciously bring breath, thus bringing the resource of prana and life into any spaces where you might be feeling tension. So maybe into the hips, or into the chest or shoulders. Let breath be big and full here. With every exhale, really consciously melting, softening. Feel the gesturing, again, the geometry of this asana, Supta Baddha Konasana. You see, each one of these asanas traditionally was very clearly outlined by the rishis, by the yogis. And every one of them had a deep, subtle effect. It revealed to us how the universe lives within us now. They rarely mentioned the physical benefits. Sometimes they would mention the physical benefits because they were so miraculous. For example, the capacity to combust parasites, or to wake up all the agnis, all the fires. But each one of these sacred geometries was really pointed to in its deeper effects. Explore this. This wisdom lives in you also. So notice here in Supta Baddha Konasana, this opening, this gesture of surrender. In many ways, feel that space, the creative space of Swadhisthana chakra around the pelvis, the water element flowing, and simultaneously the heart expanded wide. This is a very surrendered posture that can even bring up vulnerability. Feel and breathe into what's here now. Finding 3 more deep breaths, but of course if anyone needs to come out, come on, do so. You can come out of the physical posturing, but stay in the internal awareness always. With the exhale, really melt everything, and then with the next inhale, take the hands and slowly bring them down towards the backs of the thighs, and then gently, with your own time, walk the feet back towards their soles, and take the soles of the feet right out to the outsides of the mat and drop the knees towards each other. So really softening the lower back and even shifting slightly here through the lower back. So lifting lower back and dropping it. this easeful momentum movement here, and then relax completely. You might notice that throughout this sadhana this morning, as we stay more attuned to that aliveness, that we naturally start to feel more and more like there's this amplified vibratory field, like the whole body is vibrating well beyond any of its physical outlines. We might also notice that we start to respond to prana. It's like life is asking us to move in one way or another, and there's a natural flow. Let's come now to bring the feet back to a place of neutrality, back towards this center line, and then from here, extend the left leg down onto the floor, down onto the mat, create that extension. The next asana, this Supta Padangusthasana, this reclined big toe posture. So in through that left leg, flex the left toes, draw them back towards the hip, and then with the next inhale, take the right leg up towards the sky. You have a couple options here. One is to simply leave the leg in this way, flex those toes, and keep it here. Another option is for those of you who have this availability to take the two fingers of that right hand and to draw them up towards the toe. Take your left arm and draw it out towards the side body. And then really draw so the shoulder blades should still be landed on the floor, no bend in the knee. For those of you who are still feeling that your extension is here, you can even use a strap around the foot, or simply rest here. Bring both arms out to the sides. Keep that extension. Close the eyes and be here. So if you're using that strap, bring it to the mid place of the foot and continue to allow that length to occur, the shoulder drawing down. And again, feel the specific geometry of the asana. Noticing the way in which it invites life to be revealed and seated here now. This is an excellent asana for the root chakra, for Muladhara chakra, allowing the earth element, that grounded nourishment, to be free, the vital force to be rich here. Finding one more full breath here. And then with the exhale, either releasing the fingers, releasing the strap, or just gently, slowly bend the knee and lower that right leg right down onto the mat. And create a little bit of a movement in through the toes, almost like you're window wiping. Releasing the hips. Feel that space of the perineum where the root chakra resides. Feel the aliveness there now. And then land the right heel. So let the right heel land now. Draw those right toes back towards the hip. Flex them. Take the right hand out towards the side, directly out from the right shoulder. And then from here, gently start to lift up through that left leg. And again, you choose here. Either maintaining the extension in your own way, unassisted, or drawing those left fingertips up towards the toe. Keep the shoulder blade down and back onto the mat. So if that's not available, if you're really reaching in and through here, use the strap. Even if the strap allows a little bit more effortlessness, come to that. Close the eyes and reside. Be here. Finding 3 more full breaths here. Feel that the inhalation reaches all the way down to the perineum, almost that it engorges this area. You're breathing down towards the root. And with the next exhale, release your strap or your hand, and then gently allow that left knee to bend and the left leg to extend. And again, you feel to draw the toes out and back towards the center, just relaxing the legs. And then rest and lie here. We're going to actually do some pranayama lying on the back. So if you want to support yourself in one way or another, you can. If you want to use a pillow under the shoulders or slightly under the lower back, or if you'd like to cover with a blanket if you're feeling a little bit chilled, really get comfortable here. And then find your way into a comfortable shavasana. The feet splayed out towards the sides of the mat, the palms up towards the sky, and relax. Draw the thumbs down towards the floor, really opening up through the shoulders, and then relax the hands. No gripping. And then create length through the back of the head and the neck. Draw the chin slightly down, lift it up. Adjust a couple times in this way until eventually you find that central point onto the back of the head, back of the skull. Relax. And then from here, keep the arms as relaxed as possible, but gently bring the palms onto the abdomen. So still relax those shoulders down. No activity into the arms. From here, we come into a lying version of Dirgha Pranayama or Maha Yoga Pranayama, this full yogic breathing. Really, truly learning what it is to breathe into all 3 parts, to breathe deeply, to allow breath and thus life, aliveness to enter deeply. So start to feel as you breathe that something is happening at the abdomen, even just a slight flutter of the abdomen rising and falling. And now start to exaggerate this. With the next inhale, really feel as though the hands are being pushed up towards the ceiling. Engorge the belly like a balloon. And then with the exhale, a depression, the navel coming back towards the spine, towards the floor, the hands dropping. Continue in this way. Inhale. The hands, the belly, start to press up towards the ceiling. Exhale, soften. And now let the inhale come through nose and exhale from mouth. Inhale, expand. Exhale from mouth, release. Go to the full end of your exhale. Feel that the exhale reaches deep and it presses the navel back. Feel that that exhale really extends even further. And then continue in your own way with the inhale and the exhale. Notice how naturally, as the breath deepens, so does your contact with this moment. Nothing else exists. The clear recognition, the awareness that this moment is all that exists. And now the next inhale, feel the inhalation continue to rise the abdomen, the belly swells, but now draw that inhalation also into the ribs. Feel that the ribs spread out to the sides of the room. Belly rises, ribs spread and widen. Exhale, feel the ribs come back to their center. Feel the abdomen draw down towards the floor. Inhale, belly engorges, rib cage opens and expands. Exhale from mouth, rib cage comes back towards its neutrality and the belly drops down. 3 more times in this way. And now with the next inhale, continue in this way. Inhaling into abdomen, inhale into the rib cage. Now inhale all the way up into the chest. Fill yourself right up towards the clavicle. And exhale, exhale from the chest. Exhale from the rib cage. Exhale from the abdomen. Feel all come back towards center line. 3 more times. Inhale, inhale abdomen. Inhale into the ribs. Inhale all the way into the chest. Exhale, chest, rib cage, abdomen, and 2 last times in your own rhythm. And then relax. Let the hands find their way back towards the mat. Relax the shoulders and notice that deep, residing calm, peace. And feel also as we welcome this deepened breath, we also welcome prana to make her course, to make her pathway throughout the system, throughout the entirety of the body, the energetic system, to clear out the old, to empty, and to welcome this moment now. Feel the power of this Maha Yoga Pranayama, the capacity to breathe into life fully. And then allow yourself to stay here feeling that sense of expansion in the dance of life, the expansion into infinity. Stay here in your Shavasana and I will come to chant our final prayer and then leave you to stay here for as long as feels perfect and comfortable this morning. Don't rush or try to allow this movement to the next thing to happen too quickly. Instead, stay here in the rumination of being alive, the gift of being alive. And allow all to rest and integrate, to find its place in the home of you, positioned in infinity. No separation, a great sense of interconnection with all of life. So continue to stay here in Shavasana and just receive the final prayer. This Mahamrityunjaya mantra, the mantra of liberation, of fearlessness. May this reach into the infinity. May it reach all beings. May all beings at this time really find peace. Even in these changing or shifting times, may we all come to know the peace of being alive. May all beings truly be free from suffering. And may each and every being come home to self-settlement, to a recognition of who we truly are. So simply allow the prayer to find its integration. Feel that every cell vibrates with the mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all rest in great peace. Namaste. Continue to enjoy your time here in restfulness and Shavasana. I'll see some of you this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for meditation. Otherwise, we'll meet again tomorrow morning. Namaste, blessings and love to everyone wherever you are throughout the world. Bye, everyone.